All right. So yeah, wake myself up here really quick. Like I said, I'm just kind of like, I don't know where am I? Ding ding ding. Okay, so guys, there's so much exciting stuff happening. I totally blanked on Clean Week today and I didn't do it, but the preview of Clean Week is up right now on Beachbody On Demand. So I kind of checked it out and it looks um kind of like chill. I mean, that's the point of this program. So it's really to basically, like, Carl put together this group for coaches, and everyone was working together, and he really realized that a lot of coaches put together these things called, free groups. So Clean Week was inspired by things that coaches already do, aka our clean or our free groups that are typically like clean eating groups or something like that. So this is kind of an opportunity for us to get people involved in Beachbody On Demand with like the free trial, or they can actually buy the Clean Week and just like I think it's like it comes with like Shakeology sampler pack. So it's literally a way for them to just kind of get introduced to things, and it's going to be very basic. It's going to come with a meal plan, 7 workouts that are actually using moves. She pulls moves from tons of different workouts that are all throughout Beachbody On Demand. So as we're going into the fall, for anyone that caught Misfit Legion's call on Sunday, Natalie made a great point that right now sometimes things are actually harder. So right now is an opportunity for us to create relationships, to get people involved and say, you know what, Clean Week comes out in October. Say, hey, I'm going to run this 7-day free group, and you can get everything for free. You can even try Shakeology for free. Not for free, actually, to get the sampler. There's a price for that challenge pack, but basically saying, like, listen, let's get your foot in the door. Let's see if this is something you would be interested in. Show them the value of what is possible by just getting their foot in the door, and, basically segueing them into a more kind of advanced challenge group. So that's coming up, and like I said, check that out today if you want. And then Super Saturday is on Saturday. So I know you guys are Super Saturday goers. I'm telling you, get there. I don't know. Are you planning on going, Sierra?
It depends on if I don't end up being in Pittsburgh again, because we wanted to take our parents to look at some houses. If that doesn't happen, then I am going.
Awesome.
So I'm just kind of playing it by ear.
Okay. Well, there's one in Morgantown too, and I always forget about that, which I went to last year, and it was actually really great. It's a little smaller. There's nothing wrong with that. It's literally designed the same way. You watch the same video. I actually got up while I was at that Super Saturday and told my story, because the girl that was supposed to come couldn't make it, and they asked for volunteers, and I don't really know what happened to me, but it was a great community and it was a really good time. And it's just right in Morgantown. I'm pretty sure it's at that church off Cheat Lake. I can't remember the name, Chestnut Ridge. So look into that. It's on the link in the team page. And my last little bit, I want to congratulate us, because our team is right now ranked number 521 in this humongous organization of teams, which is huge. So there's 400,000 coaches, or probably more. I doubt that all of those people are actually coaching and working the business, but we're all a part of this movement. We're all a part of what it means to be Team Beachbody, no matter what. If you are with us, you are with us. But I just think it's incredible, the kind of waves that we've made, because I know at the beginning of the year, we were kind of in the 900s. We jumped up to the thousands. Then we started to kind of come back down and get closer to the top 500 and the top 200. And I just want to really congratulate everyone, and for everybody that is going to listen to this recording, because if you guys don't know the way that that's broken down, it is broken down to where it's not one single person can actually control that at all. So it has everything to do with each individual coach, Sierra, Ryan, Catherine, your coaches, my personal coaches, everyone's organizations come together and are helping people, and that basically pushes us, closer to being in the top of the company. So basically, the more people that we help, the higher we climb in the company. And I just feel like it's a huge honor, because there's no better way to really show that. So it's through Success Club, it's through coaches becoming successful, it's through volume, through sales, it's through retention, through Shakeology. It's through so much. There's not just like one single thing that makes you, in the top of the company, but it really is about working together as a team. So I'm really proud of us, and I really feel like we can get, in the top 400 the next time, the top 300, and finish this year really strong. But basically that comes down to us kind of going through the steps I'm going to talk about tonight on the call. So Natalie has been sharing a lot more about what we're calling the formula for success. And a lot of that just takes us back to the total basics. And if you're going to get on that call tomorrow with Dave, I guarantee you he's going to talk about this because, we overcomplicate this a lot. And I've actually been kind of pulling myself out of this, like, you're behind and, you need to be doing this month. And, why haven't you done this month? And like, you can't build anything off of that kind of attitude, whether it's with your fitness, whether it's with your business, your relationships. Nothing flourishes when we're just building it off of feeling like a failure and feeling disappointed. So I think the number one thing that we always have to be concerned with first is ourselves. So when you think about this, your life, you are at the top of that tree, and you are what every single thing stems from in your life. And that can feel kind of like overwhelming, I feel like, and probably why a lot of people don't ever try to become, anything greater than what they maybe already are, because sometimes that can feel a little overwhelming and like there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. But what I've learned through growing as a coach and growing in this business and with this journey is that, like, it sometimes can feel really hard. The hardest thing in this world is working on yourself, but it's the most fulfilling because so many other areas of your life start to just flourish. So a couple of questions. Have you consistently been taking care of yourself? So that doesn't actually just mean, though, have you been consistently working out, or have you been consistently drinking Shakeology, or things like, have you consistently been eating all of your containers? I actually mentioned this last night on Kelly's call. I was like, I remember coming back from Summit and being like, my head was going to explode because I didn't even know where to think or where to begin or what to do. And the number one thing I decided to focus on was I want to wake up every day and from start to finish be totally aware and totally focused on where my thoughts are, where they're going, and what I believe in and what I believe I can do. And it's like a very empowering feeling. I'm like, have you ever gone a whole day where from start to finish you're like, I've got this. I am not disappointed in myself. I am proud of myself. I've done my best today. I rock. Like, I believe in myself. Like, have we ever gone a whole day where we're just like, I'm awesome? I feel like it's rare, right? And it's rare because we think things sometimes without even realizing we're thinking them. Because it's like we're blinking without even realizing we're blinking, because that's just what we've always done. It's a really, really, really hard cycle to break. So the first thing that we have to do is just become aware. And like, I even realized today in my workout, I'm like, I am literally watching Criminal Minds while I'm doing this workout. What am I doing? I'm like, this is not pushing me at all. I didn't even realize I was doing it because it was just happening. And like, we don't even realize sometimes how we're pushing ourselves 18 bajillion steps backwards by the smallest little moments, the smallest little thoughts, and the smallest little actions. So besides, I totally believe that we have to be products of the product. And you guys, we know that. Workout, nutrition, Shakeology, we got to be fueling ourselves in that way. But I think the part that we forget the most is, where's our mind at? What are we thinking about every day? What story are you telling yourself every day? And what kind of energy do you have flowing around you? And that was me just before this call. I'm like, I need to get in a better flow of energy. And that might sound kind of like yoga-y, but I actually listened to an Oprah Winfrey video this morning, and she talked a lot about what you put out into the world immediately comes back to you. And you can believe that through God, through source energy, just, through vibes, whatever the case may be, but it's there. It's a very, very, very real thing. So instead of focusing on oh, I didn't do that, or oh my gosh, I wasn't great. Let's turn that around and just become more aware. And when was the last time you feel like you committed to something? So again, it doesn't have to be like 7,000 things that we commit to at once, but maybe like wake up on your first alarm, or watch a series of YouTube training videos for a week, or do a workout for 21 days straight. Commit to something so you can tell yourself that you did it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that is literally why fitness changed my life, because I finally realized I wasn't just like bouncing around in the world and my head was falling off all the time. It gave me this sense of like belief that when I set my mind to something, I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to. And do you feel like that you have a transformation? So I don't just mean like externally. I really don't. I mean internally. And it doesn't have to be over. Are you in a constant process of transforming? Are you actively working to become better? And I have to check myself on this a lot, because I'll go into autopilot like real quick. It's real easy to do that. So like, I'm good. And then you freaking hit a huge ass wall in front of you and you're like, okay, now I have to climb over that. But if we're continuously growing, when we get to that wall, we're going to be ready to step right over it. We're not going to slam into it and then feel like it's this giant climb all at one time. That's how that compound growth works over time. And then as we're doing that, are we being consistent and authentic on social media? So I shared this last night with Kelly's team as well. And I was like, when I committed to Shift Shop, I committed to this, like, basically, like, I just really wanted to not talk about Shift Shop when I started Shift Shop. I was like, I got to find something every day that I'm going to talk about. And it cannot be the 25-minute workout. It can't be the 50-minute workout. And some days it was like how it felt to get over that and overcome that. But I think sometimes, like, you know, we get really stuck on what's really easy to talk about. And like, this might not seem like it was that big of a deal, but like tonight in my post, I talk about how I had trouble actually having sober thoughts. And like, that to me is like a very vulnerable, deep thing to express, because there's a lot of people out there that are probably thinking, what does she mean by that? Was she addicted to drugs? Like, there's probably people out there, you know, potentially questioning me or wondering, or, you know, maybe judging me. But at the end of the day, like, that could also speak to someone. They could also be like, wow, like, I can't remember the last time I, you know, wasn't drinking or doing drugs or something of that nature. Or the last time, you know, I wasn't on depression medicine or on anxiety medicine. How many people do you know that are on depression and anxiety medicine and they're still depressed? A lot of people. I know a lot of people like that. And the reason is because they have no good energy around them. They're on that medicine and they're saying to themselves, every single day they're saying to themselves, I'm depressed. Every single day they're saying, I have anxiety. Every single day they're saying, I need this medicine to be okay. Instead of writing a new story that says, I'm going to overcome this, I'm stronger than this, I don't need this because I am greater than this. You know, it's all about what we convince ourselves of. And you know, it's so easy to convince ourselves that what we're doing on social media is enough, or that we're being authentic when we're really maybe not. It's easy to tell ourselves that we're showing up and we're doing the best that we can, because we don't want to step outside of our comfort zones that little bit more. So think about what you tell yourself every single day. And I am telling you guys, like, I am struggling with this a lot right now. I'm working like on purpose to understand what's going through my mind and be like, okay, that's not what you want to go through your mind, so just change it. But we got to know we're doing it first, okay? So figure out what your fear is when it comes to sharing. Figure out what your fear is when it comes to taking the first step towards something new. If you feel like you're being held back by something, why aren't you learning how to get better at it? I think about that all the time. I'm like, well, if I'm not happy with this and I'm not where I want to be with this, and why am I not learning how to get over it and how to get better? It's because we're afraid to take the step to get better. It's because we're afraid that we're not going to be good enough once we know how to be better. Or in the process, we're just, we're not going to get it maybe, or we're just going to end up disappointing ourselves anyway, so we might as well just stay where we're comfortable. So when it comes to kind of like sharing with people on social media and then taking them into the inbox, which is, I know what I said a lot of this call is going to be about, but I just kind of wanted to share all of that first, because that all has to come first. First, we have to be taking care of ourselves. Then we have to be sharing that authentically, because then we're going to have conversations in our inbox. So what I started sharing on our recognition board and the team page is more about volume as well. I don't want you guys to think that Success Club's not important, because I 1 million bajillion think it is. I think the challenge pack is like the ultimate solution. And I honestly feel like if people don't need all three things, they will eventually get all three things. So it's all about learning how to create that trust, figure out what they need, and kind of even get them towards your challenge groups, the free trial, all that different stuff. So how do we go about that in the inbox, right? It's like the most uncomfortable situation sometimes, because you're talking to these people and you're like, okay, like this is what I want you to do, right? Like we sometimes may be like, this is how I really want this conversation to go. So then we forget to figure out, well, what do they really need? What are we really even talking about? So my number one first lead off question, I'm pretty sure no matter what, if someone messages me and tells me that they like my dress, or they message me about fitness, or they've liked one of my photos, I am always asking them, are you working on any goals right now too? So that's like the kind of like key part, because it just puts us, we're equal at that point. It's not, are you working on any goals? It's, are you working on any goals too? Or as well, or whatever you want to use there. So do you see how that kind of, I feel like, takes the pressure off of somebody? It's there for it. We're just talking about it. We're just in it together at that point. There's no like, hey, I'm trying to help you. It's just like, hey, I want to chat about goals. I'm on this journey too. So if they say, yes, I'm actually going to the gym right now, how often do you feel like you hear that? Or that's somebody's like solution. They're like, yeah, I'm back in the gym, crushing like 4 days a week. So that doesn't immediately mean like, oh no, like I don't know how, I'm going to serve them. They already have a fitness routine. Because 90% of the time they're probably A, not seeing results and unhappy with it, or B, think that that's the only way. So what I like to do is just be like, are you happy with your current routine? That's kind of the way I voice it. So this is like if we're talking to somebody that maybe already goes to the gym. Guys, some of my favorite customers to work with are people that are already working out. They don't have to, come to us because they need this incredible transformation. Maybe they just want to get better at what they're already doing, which I love. I'm like, they don't even know this whole world is over here. Ask them if they like their routine. If they feel like they don't have time, if they feel like they're not seeing results. Like I just talked to a girl today and she's like, I've been, working out for like months and I just feel like I'm not seeing any results. So I bring that back to, girl, I totally understand. I used to go to the gym for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I never saw any results. I was so frustrated. I ended up hating fitness and wellness. And now I do these workouts that are like 30 minutes a day, and they're designed by certified trainers to help me see specific results. Do you think you would be interested in something like that? So if they're already like working out, don't totally like think, oh, I probably can't help them. Ask them if they're happy with what they're doing. And if they don't mention nutrition, ask them what their nutritional habits are like. So when it comes to nutrition, I say, what are your nutritional habits like? Or I say, are you struggling anywhere specifically? Which that typically opens a huge door. So like today I asked a girl, I was like, hey, are you working on any health and fitness goals too? She's like, yeah, just between college and stuff, I'm just trying to make a few lifestyle changes. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like I started to do that around that time too. Like, what do you feel like you struggle with most? And I mean, honestly, you guys, like if somebody asked me that right now, I would have an answer. Even though I've been on this journey for like 2.5 years, I would still be like, yeah, I struggle sometimes on the weekends. Or yeah, I struggle, you know, with because I love wine and beer. Like that would still be my answer no matter what. Everybody got to struggle. So that's a great way to just kind of open that door. So is this helping a little bit? It's all about questions and it's all about learning about the person. So for example, if they ask or if they say like, you know, I always fall off track, that's a really great opportunity for you to offer the support group. So when that's what they struggle with, I lead with the group. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes the group just comes with like the workouts and it's there if they want it. You know what I mean? But if that's what they struggle with, I'm going to be like, girl, totally know what you mean. And I don't, I literally don't. I think I actually do type like this. It scares me a little bit. But I think I've officially started typing like I talk, which might be scary. But, you know, I relate because I think we could all say that this lifestyle is a lot harder before we had this team or these groups or the accountability. So somehow we have to relate to that. And that's all I do. I don't make it flashy and talk about my challenge tracker app. Nobody knows what that is. And they don't really need to download it anyway until they get the invite from us anyway. So if they feel like they can't stay motivated, if they feel like they're always falling off track, if they feel like they just need the support, like if they go to Zumba classes, I love like cycling and Zumba classes. I think that stuff's great, but I honestly don't think someone can just rely solely on those classes to get results. I think people go to those classes because they want support. Honestly, I think they do that because they don't want to be alone. They need the accountability. So if they say, you know, they struggle with beer and they struggle on the weekends, like, I know what you mean. But what's really great is these workouts still help me stay accountable because they're 30 minutes, so I can do them on the weekends. I drink this superfood shake that really helps my cravings. So even though I indulge a little bit, I never feel like I'm totally throwing myself off track. And I have the accountability of the group. And if you want, we can work together to maybe draw that back a little bit and help you find that balance, because I know that's what I've really found. I don't have time. This is like one of my favorites. So ask them why they don't have time. So maybe it's like kids, work, or it's probably that they just don't really want to take the plunge. They're afraid of failing, which is typically the I don't have time. That's the typical excuse. But these workouts are 30 minutes. And my favorite thing to say is I used to spend more time getting dressed, picking out the outfit that I wanted to be in public in that day, going to the gym, thinking about what I was going to do for my workout, doing my workout, leaving and driving home for the gym. It's like 6 steps that usually took me like an hour. Not even the workout, but that just whole mantra took me like an hour. And people need, like, we got to spell that out for them sometimes, because to them, they're like, nah, like, it doesn't matter, you know. Or they enjoy being able to waste time because they're like, not their fault that they don't get a good workout. They have an excuse to fall back on. I feel like I'm never seeing results. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. That's when I really just talk about the nutrition as well, not just the fully programmed out workouts, but this nutrition is the most genius thing in the world. Besides the Shakeology, the portion control is incredible. And the way I explain that is I say it comes with color-coded containers that teach you how much of what to eat. And then I say what I love about it, though, is I dedicated, you know, using those containers for a couple weeks. And then for the last 2 years, I can just eyeball my food. And I know exactly how much of what I need to eat. And they're like, wow, that's like so foolproof. I mean, nobody wants to like rely on a container the rest of their life. So paint that picture of what that lifestyle change will look like for them. Talk about how it includes wine if you love wine. Talk about how it includes pasta And, you know, you actually can be on a meal plan that includes pasta. Or my favorite thing is like talking about cheese. Like I used to think like I'd have to give up cheese to be healthy. And our 7-year-old totally explained to us how pizza is healthy because it has cheese on it and tomatoes and sauce. So there can also be pizza on this meal plan as well. I don't feel like I can afford it right now. How often do you feel like you hear that? Like probably every single day. Or I need to check my finances. And honestly, you guys, I'd be lying to you if sometimes I didn't want to just like come through the computer and just shake that person because I know they need it and I know they want it. But a really great option is that free trial. I don't recommend it all the time. I think some people do need that push, and I think they really can afford it. They're just afraid. You know, but if it's somebody that you've talked to over and over and over and over again, and they can't figure it out right now, or you know them personally, and it really would be a stretch, the 14-day free trial is a great idea. And it typically is going to lead to a challenge pack. But what it's going to do is give them the opportunity to get involved. You're going to show them the incredible support that you're going to give them in a challenge group. They get to see the incredible workouts that we have. And it just leads them into something else. This is all about trust. So, again, if all they need is nutrition, that's great because we have nutrition. We have Shakeology. And even though, and I think I say this every single team call, I believe literally every single person on the planet should be drinking Shakeology. I don't care how good your nutrition habits are. I think everybody needs it. It's just like, it's obsolete. It is so great. And you can be that passionate about it. It doesn't have to be something that like makes them think Shakeology equals weight loss. Change the way you talk about Shakeology. Like I make a point to tell my people this is not just to help you lose weight. Like give it 30 days and I want you to tell me if your skin feels brighter, if your hair feels stronger, like if you are digesting food better. And I do want to touch on this too that Melanie Mitchell talked about in I think a video I shared to Misfit Legion a couple weeks ago. She helps people prepare themselves for Shakeology. So like my dad, Darren even, they were like really sick for like a couple weeks when they were first starting to drink it. Their body wasn't digesting it well. And, you know, I've had a couple people tell me that as well. And a part of like, I think our prep group or prep weeks of our groups are just in that conversation with someone when they sign up is like, listen, you know, if they come to you and it's hurting their stomach, just explain. It's not because it's a bad blend. It's because it's literally like they've been processing this one type of food for the longest time. Now they put this whole new type in their body and their body's just not used to it. But if they, you know, take it down to a half a scoop and do that for 2 weeks and their body's going to come around to it a lot quicker. Make sure they're making it right. Make sure you ask your customers if they're liking Shakeology. It's a huge, 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 huge part of all of this and helping our customers see results. If they don't want anything to do with nutrition and they're like, you know, I think of like really avid gym goers already or people that are already really active, I always bring up the performance pack. Because, you know, for example, if it's somebody that's even in CrossFit, why wouldn't they like our pre-workout? You know, why wouldn't they like our post-workout? Because they're already like hardcore athletes, or I don't really know what, I guess CrossFit's kind of hardcore. I don't know. I feel scared of those people, honestly. Runners. I've even like explained it to runners before. People that I know like are really big into just like running multiple miles a day, which is just not my thing. But they can even love Shakeology. How many of our parents love Shakeology? Why aren't we talking to their friends? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't always have to be like that typical person that needs all three things. Even though that is typically what somebody needs, there are people out there that probably just need Shakeology. And there probably are people out there that need that 14-day trial just to get their foot in the door, to see that they're not going to get screwed over again by failing at workouts, to see that this is the real deal. And Clean Week is a really great way to do that. Daily Sunshine. And I love it. I don't know if you guys have tried it. This is, I think, a really good thing to market to not just parents for kids, but Daily Sunshine can be like our other little snack. So when you talk to somebody that struggles, with a sweet tooth, or your current customers that struggle with that sweet tooth, or your current customers that are following you on social media, do they know, are you talking to them about Energize behind the scenes? Are you telling them that it helps you get through your workouts? Because the big picture here is, guys, we don't want just one and doneers. That's really what I changed my perspective on. I was like, I'm sick and freaking tired of one and doneers, meaning sign up, peace out, or one conversation and peace out. Because I was either writing them off or I was signing them up and they weren't staying committed because I wasn't mixing it up for them. I wasn't bringing them more value, and I wasn't keeping them involved with all the incredible products that we have. A lot of my customer base now is on all kinds of stuff, and they're constantly trying new workouts. So the All Access Challenge Pack is probably not going to be on special next month. So all those people that have maybe told you no or aren't considering it, help them consider it again. And I don't think we should write people off. I really don't. But honestly, if somebody gets just the All Access, I do believe eventually they're going to want Shakeology. So to help them save money, that's how you explain that you can just go ahead and try Shakeology. Don't forget about the 30-day money-back guarantee. Nobody's ever locked into anything in this business. So they can try it. If they want to get the All Access, they can try Shakeology. They can drink 30 days of it, and they can still get an entire refund if they want. So there's really no reason for them to not try it, because it doesn't just have to be for weight loss. If they've got their diet down and they've got, their nutrition down, that's great. But this could still be a huge, huge part of helping them feel better and feel healthier. And yeah. And also, don't forget that you can just get Shakeology HD now. That's even 2 Success Club points, which I freaking love, because Shakeology is like the shit, and it's everything in this business. So I don't understand why we wouldn't have been rewarded like that from day one, because now a lot of people who are Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology Challenge Pack buyers, and maybe don't get Shakeology again that next month or the next month, but then get it that third month, they're ordering a whole new Shakeology HD, and then that gives them the opportunity to convert. So do you guys see the longevity here, and why building your business off of volume and trust, and going through that process with someone of what do you need, instead of how do I sell them a challenge pack? Because like I said, typically once I work someone through these questions, once they tell me either they fall off track or they're never seeing results, typically all those things are going to intertwine anyway. If you're falling off track, you're probably not seeing results. So the challenge pack is just the best solution because it's fitness, nutrition, and support. But if they just want Shakeology, we can still offer them our challenge group. Let's show them how freaking amazing our challenge groups are. If someone is so terrified to commit, give them the 14-day trial, show them a hella freaking amazing experience, and I guarantee you they are going to be right there wanting to do every single thing that you're doing. But this is really just about not writing people off. So there's volume attached to everything in this business. And instead of, only shooting to hit Success Club in the month, we're going to start building stronger organizations and helping more people by building off of volume as well. So shoot for that 100 volume a week, then shoot for 2, then shoot for 3, then shoot for 4. And I say always raise the bar, because guys, if we're not pushing ourselves to reach bigger goals, we're simply not stepping out of our comfort zones and helping the people that I believe that we can help. And honestly, that's why I'm swallowing my fear and continuing to keep the goal of reaching elite this year as something that I really believe that we can do. It scares me, I'm not going to lie, but if I don't believe in that, I don't believe in the lives that I believe we can impact. And that comes down to doing every single thing that this formula has in it. So basically, to sum everything up before I get kicked off here, when you get through all of that, you always want to end it with, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? How does that sound? Do you think something like that would help you? And then I always go in to say, would you be interested in hearing about the bundle that's attached to the group? Explain the all access. Would you be interested in hearing about our superfood smoothie that's totally changed my digestion, etc.? But when you start it with a question like that, it really, really helps them to kind of like pull themselves out of their shell and tell you a little bit more. So I hope this was helpful. Probably going to get kicked off here. But it was great to see you guys. I missed you last week. West Virginia was a blast, but I'm glad to be back in Florida. If you have any questions, please hit me right now. But if you get cut off, I'm sorry. Brian, you look like you have a fan blowing on you.
That's why I'm laughing.
What?
It says less than a minute at the top.
I know. We'll probably get kicked off. It's fine. All right, girls. Well, thank you so much. I will see you later. Bye.